Takini. Nope, another move over to Sims. Takini, when these two teams met earlier on in the season, finished 2 for 4 in that contest. Here, he's going to take a pitch low. Count is 1-0 to Takini. After Takini in the order, it's Ian Meyer, followed by Derek Cox, Corbin Hamilton, and Alex Smith. The 1-0 on the way to Takini is taken for a ball off the plate outside. Count is 2-0 to Takini. Dallas Norris on the hill today for the Fishermen, the right-hander. Here's the pitch on the way. That one's going to bounce to the plate. Count is now 3 balls and a strike to Takini. Primed in a good position to hit here is Jacoby. And now the pitch is taken on the outside corner. Looked like Norris dialed up the off speed there to get across strike 1. Count is 3 balls and a strike here. Sims, a decent aggressive lead off of first base as Norris gets set to deliver the pitch. It is hit into the air right side, and it goes foul. Count is now full to Jacoby Takini. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good opportunity here for Ian Meyer in the on-deck circle to see a couple of pitches as well out of the hand of Dallas Norris. They move over to Sims at first, and he is once again back safely over there. See if they're able to deliver the 3-2 to Takini. He gives one a ride to left center field. That one is over the head of the center fielder and to the wall. Takini's going to wind up with extra bases, and they wave in Carson Sims, and the Hornets are on the board in the first inning of this round of 16 matchup. They lead 1-0 against the Fishermen. Another one for Takini there, has been racking up those doubles as of late and adding another RBI in a big spot. Sims scoring all the way from first and got a little head start in a 3-2 count. In running for Takini is Porter Frost after the RBI double. And in steps Henley's own Ian Meyer. That one is a swing and a miss. Meyer behind in the count now. No balls and a strike. There is 1 out in the inning and already a 1-0 ball game. Kicks and delivers does Norris. That one's going to miss outside. Count is even to Meyer after swinging over the top of one pitch. He's able to see it a little bit better there. Takes that one on the outside. Count is even at a ball and a strike. Third pitch on the way to Myers, going to bounce to the plate. Meyer on the season, a .412 hitter, has really come along nicely towards the end of the spring to take that team position, or that lead in team hitting, I should say. Here he faces a 2-strike count. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes against Meyer. Stands tall on that right side. By the way, for Takini, that was double number 12 on the season, RBI number 30. I want to get that out there. Porter Frost stands in his stead out at second base. Meyer takes a curveball, pulls it into left field on the ground. They're waving in Porter Frost. The throw is going to be in time. They get Frost trying to score, but Meyer advances to second on the throw. A nice job there by Winterstein in left. Didn't even need his cutoff man. Threw a nice ball to be able to tag Porter Frost. There's 2 outs in the inning, and it brings up Derek Cox. Going to keep Meyer in at second, give him a single, and then advancing on the throw. And in steps the aforementioned Derek Cox. Talk about a guy who's come along nicely as the season has come on in his sophomore campaign, batting .391. He's got 8 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers, 25 RBI. He's just been stuffing the stat sheet as of late, has Derek Cox. Here, he digs in against Dallas Norris. Count is 0-1. Good lead off his second by Ian Meyer. The second baseman, Mather, trying to keep him honest. Pitch to Cox is going to miss upstairs. The count is 1-1. Let's try to take a look at the numbers on the season for Dallas Norris on the hill for Astoria. So we'll do so after this 1-1 pitch to Derek Cox. And the pitch is hit into the air center field. Might have to wait just a moment. Coming in is Crawford. Settles underneath it. The wind is going to be tough to battle up there, but Crawford tucks it away for the third out. The Hornets do score a run in the inning on 2 base hits. They leave a man stranded. They lead 1-0 as we go to the bottom half of inning number two, the top half of inning number 2 next on mybasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Josh Eldridge back with you as you get ready for the top of the second inning at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Championships. It's a 1-0 Henley lead as we get set for the second inning. It is Archer Hawkins, Jack Johnson, and Dallas Norris due up this half inning for the Fishermen. That is 5, 6, and 7 in their order. Corbin Hamilton still out there working for Henley. There was an error surrendered in that first inning, but the only base runner that Astoria could get was on that error. Key to get against Corbin Hamilton if Astoria is going to try to jump on him early is to do just that. Trying to put Hamilton in tough spots early, but he's been so good this season at staying away from positions like that. But you look at the handful of games that he has been in trouble against Hidden Valley. It's first, second, and third inning rallies. If he can get past those innings, Hamilton's one of those guys that just becomes more dangerous as the game goes along. And I think you could say that about all the pitchers for Henley, but certainly with the experience that Corbin now possesses in his junior season, you can really start to see it come through. The 3-0 pitch is going to miss wide as he offers up a walk to Archer Hawkins to lead off this half inning, and it brings up Jack Johnson. Johnson on the season for Astoria, batting .125 towards the bottom of their order in terms of hits. 7 hits in 56 tries this season. A lot of them, though, have been of the extra base hit variety. 3 doubles on the season for Johnson. So you think when he runs into one, he can really give it a ride. Here's the pitch from Hamilton. Here he's trying to show bunt. He pulls back on the two-seam fastball, takes it for strike 1. That's how Hamilton gets ahead of Jack Johnson. Astoria, for their part, making a return to the postseason for the first time since 2019. It's their first winning season in that time, as well as the 0-1 pitch is taken for strike 2. And for a team and a program that historically has been great, especially in the last about 20 years or so for Astoria. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Jack Johnson. It's going to miss wide outside. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. Astoria has won 3 state championships in program history, once in 2006, 2009, and 2011. So a real kind of string there in the late aughts, early 2010s. Ground ball right side. Sims is up with it. A good play to throw onto Meyer at first. They get the trailing runner, but advancing to second is Hawkins. A tough play for Sims to get to in the gap. Nice defense, taking the sure thing at first as well. Johnson is out, and it brings up Dallas Norris now with a runner in scoring position and one away in the top of the second inning for the Fishermen. Good to see Sims make a play like that, a guy who maybe has lost a little bit of confidence on the defensive end. A couple of errors last couple times out, but a good defensive play there to lock himself into a state tournament game. A nice curveball broken off by Hamilton. Uses it to get ahead of Dallas Norris, 0-1. Norris on the season, a 137 hitter for the Fishermen, was held hitless back when these two teams played in late March. Here's the 0-1. That's called a knee-high strike over the heart of the plate. The count is 0-2. Braden Winterstein is on deck for the Fishermen. Runner aboard at second is Archer Hawkins, and there's one out. Hamilton comes set, takes a look at the runner at second. Hawkins dancing around out there. We're going to get time called at the plate as Hamilton is paying quite a bit of attention to that runner. Norris wanted time. He was standing in the box for a while. It's a good call on his part as he settles back in against Corbin Hamilton. Keeps his hands low, trying to get quick to the baseball. Here's the 0-2 from Hamilton. It is looked at for strike three. Hamilton painting the outside corner for the first strikeout of this second inning, and it brings up Braden Winterstein. Winterstein on the season, sub 100 hitter. He's 5 for 52 this season. All of his hits have been singles. He has walked a couple of times and scored a few runs on his trips around the bases. Looking for some production here in the number 8 spot are the Fishermen. Hamilton set. Takini sets up the signal. And now the pitch. It's an off-speed pitch, catches the outer third. The count is 0-1. Just to finish my thought on Astoria and the program there for the Fishermen, like I said, 3 state championships in the last 20 years. Henley has got 4 state championships in the last 20 years as well. You look at some of the times that these two teams have kind of gone back-to-back. In 04, Henley won it, and in 05. Then in 06, it was Astoria who won the championship. Astoria won it again in 2011. Henley was there in 13, 14, and of course 2016 as well. Looks like we got a meeting up on the mound for Coach Craig Connor of the Henley Hornets. It's a 1-1 count to Braden Winterstein. There's a runner at second and 2 outs in the top of the second inning that Henley leads this one 1-0. While we have a brief pause in the action, I want to give a shout out to the Henley Booster Club for allowing us to have this broadcast on the air today. When we get to the postseason this time of year, the OSAA requires a playoff rights fee, and the Henley Booster Club allows us to continue to bring these broadcasts to you for free and help cover that fee with the OSAA. So big thanks to the Henley Booster Club. They've done a lot of great improvements around the baseball and softball facilities. The big one, when you walk right in, you can see the new softball scoreboard that they've got out there. And it's all the Booster Club, even if it's not specifically for baseball. Want to give them all the love that we can. Move over to second, pickoff attempt. Sims lays down the tag, but back safely is Archer Hawkins. Can bring it back here. A ball and 2 strike. The count to Braden Winterstein, the number 8 hitter in the Astoria order. Hamilton comes set with the 1-1 pitch. Kicks and delivers. On the move to third was Hawkins, but the ball was fouled off. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. Hawkins on the base path. Let's see if we can get an idea of his speed this year. Just by looking at stolen base numbers, he is second on the team in stolen bases. He is 13 for 15 in stolen base attempts this year. He stands out at second. 1-2, the count to Winterstein. Hamilton with the pitch. The misses upstairs. Takini thought that was strike 3, started jogging towards the dugout and has to return the ball to Hamilton. Counts 2-2. It was a slider about letter high. 50-50 pitch goes against Hamilton. He'll have to work hard to try to find that strike 3 pitch again. Here he comes with it. 2-2. Fastball froze him, and that'll do it here in the second inning. Again, the Fishermen get a runner on, but they can't do anything with it. They trail 1-0 as we go to the bottom half of inning number 2 next on MyBasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
For your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
Monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Corbin Hamilton, Alex Smith, Max Price due to lead things off for the Hornets in the bottom half of inning number 2 at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Tournament. It is a 1-0 Henley lead against the Astoria Fishermen in the 1 versus 16 matchup. Here's the delivery from Dallas Norris. An upstairs fastball is going to stay up. It's a 1-0 count. Henley was able to manufacture a run in the first inning off the RBI double from Jacoby Tacchini. First pitch swinging a lot for Henley in that first inning. See if they try to allow Norris to work a little bit out there. The 1-0 is going to be a knee-high, I think that was a two-seam fastball, caught the corner. Ball and a strike from Norris, who is making his 12th start of the season for Astoria. Carries a 7-4 record. He leads the team in innings pitched by a wide margin, 70 2/3 innings pitched this season. He's allowed 77 hits, 39 runs, 22 of them earned. He's walked 11 and struck out 55. An ERA of 2.18 entering play today has undoubtedly been the ace for Astoria this year. The only other player with a sub-3 ERA on this pitching staff is that one catches the outside corner, paints the black against Hamilton. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Corbin, the starting pitcher today for Henley, trying to help himself out here to lead off the bottom half of the second inning. The 2-2 pitch is poked into right field and a base hit. That one was just above the shins, but Hamilton reached out for it and got a base hit for his troubles. He's going to lead off this second inning, bringing up Alex Smith. Hamilton, by the way, going to stay in and run. You'll see oftentimes teams courtesy run for their pitcher, but they like Hamilton. He's become a real smart base runner for the Hornets over these last couple of seasons. And I think that's one of the marketed improvements that Henley has made over these last couple of years with Coach Sean Teeters at the helm of the program, is the ability to run the bases aggressively and smart. As that pitch misses low and away to Alex Smith, count is 1-0. It's one of the many reasons why Henley was able to earn the number 1 overall seed into the postseason this year. Not giving away outs on the base paths, being smart, being aggressive at the right times. The 1-0 to Smith is going to catch the outside part for a strike. They try to backpick Hamilton at first, but he dives back safely. The count is even to the sophomore right fielder, Alex Smith. Only called up to varsity 5 games ago, but in that time he bats .364. He's got a double. He's got 4 RBI. He gets on base about 43% of the time. The 1-1. Smith hits one high into the air. Center field looks playable for Crawford. He is going to make the catch, and there's 1 out in the inning. Brings up Max Price, the team's designated hitter today. Max Price, I believe, one of the pitchers that Astoria faced back on March 25th, but today Price just a designated hitter. Hitting in place of the Henley left fielder, Harley Hoblet. And to move over to first, Hamilton is back safely. You got to be a little bit cautious of Corbin over there at first. He does have quite a few stolen bases this year. In fact, he leads the team in stolen bases right now. He is 15 for 15 on stolen base opportunities this season. as Max Price takes strike one on the outside corner, falls behind to Dallas Norris. Norris, the senior, comes set. The 0-1 pitch. That one's going to miss upstairs. Count is 1-1. The catcher, Shocker, trying to frame that one up. He did a good job of it, but umpire behind home plate not biting. Round the diamond for Astoria. Hawkins at third, Gramlich at short, Mather at second, Kelly at first, Winterstein in left, Crawford in center, and Johnson in right. The 1-1 is going to miss low. 2-1. Curveball dipped below the knees to Max Price. On the season, Max is a .263 hitter, batting in the 8-hole today for Henley. And Ryan Douglas is on deck. Norris on the hill, kicks and delivers. Hamilton is on the move, swing and a miss at the plate. The throw down is not going to be in time. Hamilton swipes second, and it is a 2-2 count at the plate to Max Price. Hamilton with his 16th stolen base of the season. Not a bad throw down from Shocker either, but Hamilton, those long strides, he stands 6'4", really got down the line there. The 2-2 pitch on the way to Max Price. That's going to be taken for strike three on the outside corner. The two-seamer leaked back over the plate, and Price was caught looking. It brings up Ryan Douglas with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position in the bottom half of the second inning. Douglas on the season, batting .238 for the Hornets here in the 9 spot. Back in the starting lineup after missing it against Mazama in the nightcap, a game in which Henley won 21-3 against the Vikings to the end of the regular season. Here's a line drive into center field. It is hit right at the center fielder Crawford, and the catch is made to end the inning. The Hornets get a leadoff base hit, but they leave Hamilton stranded. They do carry a 1-run lead as we go to the top half of the third inning next. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Tournament on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Getting set now for the top half of the third inning in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Tournament as the Henley Hornets lead the Astoria Fishermen 1-0. Due up this half for the Fishermen, Isaac Crawford, Sam Shocker, and Sam Mather. Crawford getting ready to dig in now against Corbin Hamilton. Want to give you a final score from the only other tournament game going on right now. It is the 5 versus 12 matchup in Grants Pass. The Tillamook Cheesemakers defeated the Hidden Valley Mustangs a score of 6-4. So the Cheesemakers are moving on. They will play either Junction City or Estacada in the next round. That matchup between the Rangers and the Tigers will be played at 5 o'clock today. Count is 0-2 at the plate to Crawford. The first pitch was fouled off. Second one looked at for strike 2, and Hamilton is working ahead of the Fisherman center fielder. Was active on the defensive end in that last half inning. Couple line drives hit right to him as he takes ball 1 below the knees and away. Isaac Crawford, a 1-2 count at the plate. Crawford this season batting .075 for the Fishermen. For Astoria, you look at some of their losses this year, their losses come in games where they get shut out, scored 1, maybe 2 runs. A lot of their wins are 7, 8-run outings, 11-run outings, as well as Corbin Hamilton's able to sneak in strike 3 on the inner third to Crawford. He goes down looking, and back to the top of the order now for the Fishermen. I guess my point is that the team will likely score in bunches. A team that doesn't necessarily hit for a ton of average. Their batting average as a squad is .203, so it's going to take stringing them together against Hamilton today. Maybe a couple of extra base hits if they can find a way to drive one deep. Otherwise, Hamilton able to work ahead of these hitters as he gets ahead of Sam Shocker here, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is bounced back up the middle. Shively charging is unable to make the play. And a weak roller in the infield is going to be a single for Sam Shocker, and it brings up Sam Mather. First hit of the game. Oh, no, they're going to call that an error. Tough one for Shively to get to, but they're charging him with an error, at least according to the scoreboard here. So no base hit for Astoria yet. It is the second Henley error, and it still brings up Sam Mather. Here's the pitch. It's going to miss below the knees. The count is 1-0. Mather on the season, a 183 hitter for the Fishermen. About middle of the pack. And again, that shows you this team not really hitting for a ton of average, just trying to get those extra base hits strung together. And a one-out base runner. The Fishermen trying to get something going against Hamilton as it's a 2-0 count to Mather after Hamilton misses that one in the dirt. Good work by Takini to knock that one down and disallow Shocker to advance into scoring position. Mather 0-for-1 today, grounded out to Ian Meyer in the first inning. Runner is on the move, swing and a miss at the plate. The throw down from Takini is not going to be in time, and Shocker advances to second on the steal. It was a swinging strike at the plate, so the count is 2-1 to Mather, and Joey Gramlich is on deck for the Fishermen. He's the guy that you want up in a spot with a couple of guys on base. Important at-bat now for Mather with the runner in scoring position. He's showing bunt in a 2-1 count. Hamilton delivers the pitch. He lays it right down to the pitcher. He's going to take the easy route to first base, but advancing to third was Shocker. And Joey Gramlich bats now with 2 outs and a runner at third base in the top of the third inning. Gramlich is 0-for-1 today. He reached on an error in the first inning as Coach Craig Connor makes his way out of the dugout for the second time in as many innings. Don't have to make a change yet. You only have to do it on the second time that you go out in the same inning. So trying to talk things over with his infield and Corbin Hamilton gives us another opportunity to thank the Henley Booster Club for their support of our broadcast today on mybasin.com. The Henley Booster Club allows us to keep these broadcasts free for you come playoff time because this time of year the OSAA decides that they own the rights to their playoff video feeds, so we got to pay them up. And the Booster Club makes that possible for us to be able to keep these broadcasts for you free on mybasin.com, along with all the other great things that the Booster Club does. You'll see them at home basketball games, home football games, selling their merch. One of the great ways to support them every year is the Henley Crab Feed. Of course, that was only in just February, so got a ways to go before that. But if you're curious on how you can support Henley Athletics, definitely reach out to somebody in the Booster Club. All right, Joey Gramlich up at the plate. He is going to hit a chopper in the infield. Hamilton plays it on a hop. Throw to first is going to be not in time. They're going to say Meyer pulled his foot. And a run scores, and it's a tie ball game. The throw did take Meyer off the bag. I thought he had tapped it with his back foot coming off the base, but that did not happen. And an RBI for Gramlich makes it a 1-1 ball game. Runner aboard at second. 2 outs in the inning. We're going to see exactly how they wind up scoring that one. I think it'll wind up being an E1 if the play from earlier on Shively was any indication of how things are being scored today. In steps Colt Kelly as he takes strike 1. Kelly is 0-for-1 in the ball game today. He grounded out to end the first inning. Hamilton takes a look at the runner on first. It's Gramlich. And he delivers home. Swung on and missed. The count is 0-2. Kelly thought he held up in time, but no appeal down to the base umpire. It's made at the plate. He went around, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Hamilton trying to get himself out of this inning, only having allowed that one run. Here is the 0-2. That one is looked at for a ball. Hamilton tried to go outside with the heater, maybe trying to get Kelly to chase, but he wasn't having it. Count is 1-2. Archer Hawkins is on deck for the Fishermen, should this inning continue. Hamilton takes a look over at Gramlich at first, now throws over, but he's back safely. Count still a ball and 2 strikes. Colt Kelly on the season, a .279 hitter for the Fishermen. Here's the 1-2. Taking a look at for strike 3, and that'll do it in the top half of inning number 3. But the Fishermen tie the ball game, and they leave a runner stranded. It is 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the third next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Well, we're just about set for the bottom half of the third inning. It'll be the top of the Henley order due up. Connor Shively, Carson Sims, and Jacoby Tacchini as the Hornets look to get back the run they surrendered in the top half of the third inning. We're tied up at 1 in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Tournament. Shively 0 for 1 in the ball game today. He hit a ball hard to left field. Unfortunately, it was right at Winterstein. Trying to catch a good piece here, leading things off against Dallas Norris. Here's the offering. That one's taken up and away for ball 1. So talked about the one other final score that we know about was Tillamook defeating Hidden Valley earlier today. A lot of games getting started here in the next hour or so around the state. On the other side of our bracket, winner here will advance to play either Malala or Pendleton. That game starts at 4:30 today. As Shively takes a strike on the outer third, the count is even. Other games starting at 4:30 include, well, actually, that's the only game starts at 4:30. A couple games start at 4 o'clock. Staten and LeGrand, that's the 7-10 matchup. Scappoose and North Bend, the 2 versus 15 matchup. Shively watches the 1-1 sail outside, 2-1. A couple games starting at 5 today. Estacada Junction City, Philomath and Marist Catholic, that's the 3 versus 14. And then Phoenix, the number 11 seed, taking on Gladstone at number 6. That game also starts at 5 o'clock today. Here is the 2-1 to Connor Shively. Lifts one into the air, shallow center field. Could be tough to get to, though, and in fact, nobody does. Right in the middle of the the right fielder, the second baseman, and the center fielder. No one able to make a play, and Shively with a leadoff base hit in the bottom half of the third inning. It brings up Carson Sims. Carson started the season real well for Henley. Over the last few games, though, been trying to battle himself out of a slump, and a great opportunity to do so here for Carson Sims. Here's the pitch. Line drive, left field, base hit. And there you go. One pitch and a base hit for Sims. He'll take it. 2 men on, nobody out for Jacoby Tacchini. Tacchini on the season, second leading hitter, 411 on the year. He leads the squad in RBI with 29 and also doubles with 12. Had an RBI double earlier this game back in the first inning. Another opportunity at more here. Tied up at 1, bottom half of the third. Norris comes set and delivers another grounder into left field. Shively gets the green light. The throw home is going to take the catcher away from the plate, and a run scores. An RBI single for Jacoby Tacchini, and the Hornets lead 2-1. They've still got runners at first and second. As Sims advances into scoring position and Tacchini reaches, they're going to have Porter Frost in running for him. And it brings up Ian Meyer, trying to keep the rally going for the Hornets. 2 on and nobody out. Meyer did single back in the first inning. 1 for 1 today. He leads the team in hitting, 412 coming into play today. Like I said, has been seeing the ball really well these last couple of games, trying to keep it going here in the postseason. First pitch to Meyer. It's taken for a strike, knee high on the inner third, 0-1. Back against Mazama on May 22nd. He was 3 for 4, couple of doubles in that game. Had a double in the nightcap on Friday as well. Was 1 for 2 in that performance. He's in an 0-1 count right now. The pitch to Meyer is a ground ball up the middle. The shortstop Gramlich up with it. Throw on to first is in time, but Sims advances to third on the double play. So now there's 2 outs for Derek Cox. 6-3 double play. Derek Cox getting ready to step in now. 0 for 1 today, flew out to center field in the first inning. Trying to give Henley a bit of insurance here. They lead by a run in the bottom of the third inning. Cox lifts one into the air, right field. Going back is Johnson. That one is gone over the wall and off the scoreboard. Derek Cox, a 2-run blast in the bottom of the third inning. And the Hornets lead 4-1. Opposite field jack for Derek Cox. Thought that one had the distance to get over. I didn't think it had the height, and it just barely got over that right field fence. About 330 feet over towards right center field. And Derek Cox with another home run. I believe that gives him 4 on the season. I'll double check that. Yeah, home run number 4 for Derek. RBI number 27. And the Hornets with a 4-1 advantage in the bottom of the third inning. The pitch to Corbin Hamilton is going to be taken for a ball. 1-0. Well, that ball was, that was hit on a rope. I really didn't think that was high enough to get out of here, but it just stayed up, elevated, and sailed on out. Pitch to Hamilton is inside, up near the hands. Count is 2-0 to Hamilton, who's 1 for 1 in the ball game. He singled back in the second inning. Norris able to work back out of the windup. The pitch to Hamilton's a line drive right to Gramlich. It's short. Had to leave his feet to make the catch. A nice job by the Astoria shortstop to end the bleeding in the bottom of the third inning, but the Hornets score 3, 2 of them on a 2-run blast from the sophomore Derek Cox. Back with more fourth inning action next on mybasin.com.
Looking for insurance from someone who truly understands rural Klamath? Meet Gabby Haskins, a licensed agent for Country Financial, born and raised in Merrill, with deep roots in agriculture and the local way of life. Whether you're protecting your family farm, homes, vehicles, businesses, Gabby's here to help. She offers trusted, personalized insurance for farm, life, home, auto, commercial, and retirement needs at Gary Sheen's Country Financial office in Merrill. Stop by today and see why Merrill residents trust one of their own. Country Financial, here to help you experience more in Merrill.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Josh Eldridge back with you here on 104.3 and 960 Sports. It is a 4-0 ball game in favor of the Henley Hornets as we take a look at the numbers for each of these teams. It is 1 run on no hits and 1 error so far for the Fishermen. They have left 3 runners on base. For Henley, 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. They've left 2 runners on base to this point into the ball game. As we get set for the top of the fourth inning, it is going to be Archer Hawkins, Jack Johnson, and Dallas Norris due up this half for the Fishermen. Here's the pitch from Hamilton. It is fouled off back into the glove of Takini behind the plate, and the count is 0-1. Hawkins walked in his first at-bat. That was in the second inning. That one bounces to the plate. Count is even now at a ball and a strike to Hawkins. Back when these two teams played in March, Hawkins was 0 for 3 against the Hornets. Here's the 0-1 pitch in. A curveball misses wide, and the count is 2-1 to Hawkins. Bats 182 on the season for the Fishermen. They were able to manufacture a run in the third inning, looking for more here as 2-1 is fouled off. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Archer Hawkins. And again, Jack Johnson is on deck. Whichever one of these teams advances to the next round, it will be played Friday. Time and location, of course, to be decided depending on the victor of this one, as Hawkins goes down swinging at strike 3, 1 gone in the fourth. And here is Jack Johnson. Wind is starting to pick up here at Roster Field. It's affected our camera shot a little bit. You might see the net blowing on the bottom left of your screen there. That's all that is. Try to fix it for you as the game goes on, but the wind can sometimes create a challenge for us. It's the first pitch to Jack Johnson is swung on and missed, 0-1. Johnson 0 for 1 in the ball game today. He grounded out in the second inning. That one's going to miss low and away. Counts even, a ball and a strike to Johnson. Dallas Norris is on deck. Johnson, a 125 hitter this season for the Fishermen, although back when these two teams played in March, he collected a couple of base hits, was 2 for 3 in that contest. Right now faces a 1-2 count against Corbin Hamilton. Looks in, gets the sign in from Takini. And now the 0-2 pitch is a check swing. Pardon me, that was the 1-2 pitch. Now the count is 2-2 after Johnson checked his swing. And should be even here. There we go, got the designation from the umpire, and the count is 2-2. Hamilton coming set. Pitch is fouled off to the right side towards the Henley bullpen. We'll do it again. 2-2. Henley softball in action today. The Hornets playing the Buckaroos right behind us. It looks like Pendleton right now leading the Hornets 2-1. That game is in the top of the second inning. And strike 3 looking, upstairs breaking pitch, froze up Johnson for the second strikeout in 2 batters here in the fourth. That brings up Dallas Norris. Norris 0 for 1 today, was a strikeout casualty in the second inning. Timeout called. And are we going to get a meeting at the mound here? Maybe try to check on the pitch count for Corbin Hamilton, as they had someone warming up back there. And are we going to get Coach Connor out of the dugout? And we are. I think that was 55 pitches for Hamilton. And so we'll see if they wind up making a change here. As they converse about this, want to remind you today's broadcast on mybasin.com, brought to you in part by Gino's on East Main Street. They're open up every single morning at 6:30, serving those famous breakfast burritos. Those are served all day long, along with other menu items like burgers, monthly specials, and Italian favorites. You can order online at iloveginos.com or have it brought to you with DoorDash. We're getting a new pitcher into the game for the Henley Hornets. We'll introduce him to you when we come back. Top of the fourth inning, Henley leads 4-1. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Tournament.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Over the last year, you've heard and seen the advertisement for God's Gifts 2, a local photographer who travels to high school sporting events and takes individual and team action photos at a great price. Something you may not know, though, is that the money from God's Gifts Photography supports 6 children in Kenya who Annalisa has met on mission trips. If you'd like to capture your athlete in action and help support these kids, call 541-281-2206. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook.
Josh Eldridge back with you here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Our continuing coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Tournament. So we welcome to the game Hunter Glidden, a new pitcher into the game for the Hornets. Hunter's making his 13th appearance of the season. It is 5th in relief this year. Carries a 5-1 record. He's allowed 25 hits, 15 runs, 12 of them earned. He's walked 14 and struck out 42. Glidden with an ERA of about 2.5 entering the game today. Corbin Hamilton will stay into the game as in the lineup. Glidden replaces Harley Hoblet. It looks like Hamilton going to migrate over to left field, which means Alex Smith will stay in right. That's what I was curious about, was if Smith is going to move over to left field and Hamilton take over in right, or if they're just going to stick Hamilton in left. And it seems like they took the latter. Hamilton's in left, Smith is in right. Hunter Glidden new to the game, and with 2 outs and nobody on, he will face Dallas Norris. Let's take a look at Glidden these last couple of times out for the Hornets. He's had a great second half of the season, has picked up a win in each of his last 2 starts. One against Mazama, pitched a few innings there, gave up 3 hits in 4 innings. Also picked up a win early in the season against Cascade Christian, and he pitched 2 innings in a victory there. The first pitch to Norris is fouled off. The count is 0-1 to Dallas Norris, who's 0-1 for the ball game. Struck out in the second inning against Corbin Hamilton, who, if the lead holds, would be on the line for the win today for the Hornets. Here's the 0-1. That one is hit the opposite way into the air, foul. And the count is 0-2. Glidden trying to find that put-away pitch, get his bats back up, who were hot in the bottom half of the third inning, scoring 3 runs. Henley with a 4-1 advantage. 0-2 count to Norris, and the pitch from Glidden is going to miss upstairs. Count is a ball and 2 strikes. Again, that black mass, look it up on your screen. We'll try to fix that between innings if we can. The netting's starting to creep over our lens here. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Count is 2-2 at the plate to Dallas Norris. The 2-2 again. It's looked at for ball 3. And after getting ahead 0-2, Hamilton now falls behind. Glidden now falls behind in a full count. Trying to get those strikes over the plate. Has missed a couple of low. And Glidden has been known to walk a guy or 2 here or there, but has an opportunity to attack these hitters in this Astoria lineup today. Here is the 3-2. That's going to ring him up on the inside corner. Norris can't believe it, but he's sent packing looking to end the 4th inning. It's a 4-1 ball game. We head to the bottom half next on MyBasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At At Hartfeld, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN, expert care when it matters most.
Getting set for the bottom of the fourth inning at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a baseball state tournament on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com. Appreciate you finding our broadcast wherever you've been able to do it, whether you've been a Hornets fan and following us all year long, or you're a Fisherman's fan and following us for this postseason game. Appreciate you all the same. It's a 4-1 ball game as we get set for the bottom of the fourth inning. Alex Smith, Max Price, Ryan Douglas set to lead things off for the Hornets. That is 7, 8, and 9 in their order. Smith getting ready to dig in against Dallas Norris for the Fishermen. Norris was nearly able to escape a jam in the third inning. He allowed 3 hits to start the frame, but after inducing a double play and leaving a runner at third with 2 outs, went to work against Derek Cox, but Cox left the yard. A 2-run homer completely changed the complexion of the third inning. And now it's imperative for Norris to try to put up a 0 against the bottom half of this Henley order. Start to get these guys on, and it becomes dangerous. Back up at the top half, the guys who started that rally in the last inning. The 1-0 to Smith misses wide. The count is 2-0. Smith flew out to center field in his only at-bat so far. That was in the second inning. Here is the 2-0 on the way from Dallas Norris. Hit into the air, right side, but well fouled. Count is 2-1. Smith getting the start in right field today. A .364 hitter on the season for Henley. Again, pretty newly acquired varsity player, but pretty neat that after playing 5 games, well, hey, you're going to get the start in a state playoff game. The 2-1 called a strike. That nearly hit his hands. He probably should have let it hit him. Strike 2. All right. Smith settling back in. I want to crowd the plate a little bit more, see if you can wear strike 3. Here's the 2-2 home from Norris. Fouls it off. That inside pitch, though, has been there, I suppose. That one was pretty far off the inside corner, but Norris, I'm sure for his part on the mound, is glad that he got that strike call because he went down looking on a similar inside pitch to end the top half of the inning. So he'll take that inside corner if they give it to him, and so far in this one they have. We'll see where he goes here in the 2-2 offering to Smith. That is an upstairs pitch, missed right around the letters, and the count is 3-2. Norris looking for strike 3 there, but unable to find it. Here's the 3-2. That one is going to miss outside. And Smith is able to work a walk to lead off the bottom half of the fourth inning. And it brings up Max Price. Price 0 for 1 in this one. He struck out in the second inning, and we've got discussion with the base umpire with Norris. I'm not sure if he's asking for someone else to call balls and strikes or what the case was. Maybe it was a warning with a balk, although this is his first time pitching with runners on where he's even had a conversation with the umpire, so not exactly sure. Max Price shows bunt on the first pitch, lays one down the third base line. The throw on to Kelly is in time, but you do your job with a sacrifice there, and Smith is into scoring position now for Ryan Douglas. Douglas 0 for 1 in the ball game so far. Hit a ball hard to center field, but it was right at Crawford out there. It was to end the second inning. Looking to hit a ball equally as hard, but trying to find some green out there as an insurance run stands in the person of Alex Smith at second base. 1 out in the inning. Here's the first offering to Ryan Douglas. 2-seam fastball doesn't creep back up enough over the plate. And we got timeout called by the catcher. Count is 1-0. Want to remind you, today's broadcast on mybasin.com brought to you in part by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. They exist to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to their members and the community. We invite you to join Harbor Isles, where they feature top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercise classes. Also want to give a shout-out to Annalisa Cassin with God's Gifts Photography. She's attended a number of high school sporting events in the Basin, taking individual and team action photos of your team or athlete at a great price. Hit her up on Facebook at God's Gifts 2. Count is 1-0 to Ryan Douglas as he takes a strike on the outer third there. They try to backpick the runner at second, but they airmail it into center field. Now advancing to third is Alex Smith. Not exactly how you draw it up coming out of the mound meeting, but runner advances 90 feet, and now with one out, that changes things a little bit for everybody. You can manufacture that run a lot easier. The infield likely coming in for Astoria, but also if you're the pitcher, Dallas Norris, now you get to work out of the windup if you want to, although he's not opting to in a 1-1 count to Ryan Douglas. Here's the pitch. Douglas rips one to left field, fair, a base hit down the line. An RBI single for Douglas. He takes a turnaround first, but he'll stay there, and an RBI base hit makes it 5-1 Henley. Nice piece of hitting there for Ryan Douglas on the season. RBI number 15 for him. And it comes in the state tournament. Back to the top of the order now for Connor Shively. Shively 1 for 2 in the contest today. He flew out in the first, but he singled in the third. Pitch in, gonna miss off the plate outside. 1-0. The count to Connor Shively. Shively celebrating his senior day on the last home game of the season. That was a week ago today against Mazama. Here is the 1-0 against Shively. He's going to ground one right back up the middle. It's off the glove of the shortstop and into center field. Douglas turns around second, headed for third, and he will make it in there safely. Shively staying put at first after the single. Runners at the corners. One out for Carson Sims. Shively now 2 for 3 on the day as Douglas again advanced to third base on that base hit. Sims has reached base and scored twice today, once on an error in the first inning, and he also singled and scored in the third. Middle infield ready to turn 2 for Astoria. The corners playing in. They may try to cut down a lead run on a hard hit ball to them. Otherwise, they're going to try to turn 2, but not an easy guy to get is Carson Sims on a ground ball in the infield. Here he rips one down the left field line foul, and the count is 0-1. A lot of speed, even out of that right-handed batter's box. And, I mean, even with Shively at first, you're not guaranteed any out on a ball hit in the infield here. It's going to be hard work for the middle infield for Astoria. Gramlich has played well at short. Had a couple of hard hit balls to him. Mather cheating over towards the second base bag as well. Shocker sets up the signal. The pitch to Sims is offered up at and missed. The count is 0-2. Sims a .389 hitter this season for Henley. Leads the team in singles, 28 of those. He is second on the team in RBI with 29, second to Takini, who notched his 31st RBI earlier in the game. They came into the contest tied in that metric. Move over to first. Connor Shively is back safely. Douglas stays put at third. Again, runners at the corners, one out. Bottom of the fourth inning, a 5-1 Henley lead in the opening round of the postseason. The 0-2 to Sims. Hit into the air, right side. Someone's going to have to call him off. It's the second baseman, Mather, who calls everybody off and makes the catch behind first. 2 gone in the inning. Everyone stays put around the bases, and it brings up the aforementioned Jacoby Takini. Takini with RBI hits in each of his first 2 at-bats. He doubled in a run in the first. He also singled in a run in the third. And we're going to have a meeting for the coach by Astoria, Mr. Andrew Higgins-Fain, as he goes out to talk with Dallas Norris. Gives us an opportunity to remind you today's broadcast on mybasin.com, brought to you in part by Howard's Meat Center, where tradition meets innovation with every cut and every bite of Smokin' H barbecue. As you step through their doors, you're not just entering a meat center, you're stepping back to a time when the quality of the meat and the depth of the customer service were everything. Check out Howard's Meat Center next to Les Schwab Tires on South 6th Street. Also want to give a shout out to the folks at Sage Credit Union. They know that picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Sage Credit Union can help you reach your goals. All right, looks like we're about ready for baseball. 2 outs, runners at the corners, bottom of the 4th inning in a 5-1 ball game. Jacoby Tacchini at the dish for the Hornets, who are in front. Here's the pitch to Tacchini. He takes a look at a fastball on the outer third, and the count is 0-1. Like I said, Tacchini 2 for 2 today, couple of RBI for him already. Ian Meyer waits on deck if Jacoby is able to get on base. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Tacchini watches one sail outside. The count's even, 1-1. Shively on first after the single. Douglas on third after he had an RBI single earlier in the inning. Here is the 1-1 to Jacoby Tacchini, but first Norris is going to step off. On to reset some things out there. Stayed in the game after the meeting with their head coach. No one warming up in the Astoria bullpen that I can see, as the 1-1 is on the way to Tacchini. That one's going to miss outside. 2-1. Tacchini has made himself a difficult guy to pitch to. Teams have stayed away from him oftentimes this season. He's got 13 walks this year, and I'd say at least half or more of those are intentional walks. And here you can see Astoria trying to work him outside, and they fall behind 3-1 after the curveball misses wide. Ian Meyer, like I said, is on deck, but with the way Ian's been playing lately, it doesn't get much easier after Jacoby in this order. 3-1. Tacchini hits one the opposite way. It winds up foul, and the count's 3-2, which means Shively will have a little bit of a head start operating over there at first base. A little bit of precipitation coming down here at Henley, although just a small amount, as we get ready for the 3-2 pitch to Tacchini in just a moment. I believe Norris stepped off. Want to recollect himself here. Another move over to first. And again, Shively is back safely. Again, they know that Connor's going to be on the move here. Maybe try to catch him leaning. But you can kind of delete half a step of your lead if you know you're going. And there he goes, the 3-2 pitch in. Lifted into the air, shallow right field, but playable. Second baseman Mather makes the catch to end the inning. The Hornets score a run in the inning on 2 base hits. They leave 2 men stranded. It's a 5-1 ball game. Heading to the 5th next on mybasin.com.
Hi, I'm Jill with Klamath Falls Honda. If you live in Southern Oregon, you know the weather can keep you guessing. 1 minute it can be sunny, and the next something like this. That's why vehicles like the Honda Ridgeline just make sense. With available all-wheel drive and the capability to handle whatever rolls in, you're ready for it. And customers like Rob are ready too.
Couldn't have picked a better day.
So whether it's sunshine or snow, stop by and say hi. We'll keep you safe on the road.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Getting set for the top half of inning number 5 at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a baseball state tournament on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com. Due up this half inning for Astoria, it is 8-9-1 in their order. That is Braden Winterstein along with Isaac Crawford, and then back to the top for Sam Shocker. Hunter Glidden into the game for Henley. He comes in relief of Corbin Hamilton. We can give you the final line score for Henley's starter, who again would be in line for a win if this 5-1 lead holds. Hamilton pitched 3 2/3 innings, allowing 2 hits, and he struck out 7 batters. Glidden gets the 5th inning started here with a strike against Winterstein. The count is 0-1. Braden Winterstein struck out in his only other at-bat so far today. Here's the delivery from Glidden. That one knee-high on the inside part. The count is 0-2. Winterstein quickly behind in the count against Hunter Glidden. Glidden's set primarily works out of the stretch, a high leg kick, and he delivers an inside two-seamer that Winterstein has to fight off. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Winterstein, a senior for this Fisherman squad, like I said, making a return to the playoffs for the first time since 2019. It's their first winning season since then, as well, as the 0-2 misses downstairs 1-2. And for Coach Higgins-Fien, his 3rd season with the Fishermen. They were 10-15 in his first season. They were 7-16 last year. And like I said, have made the playoffs this year, 11-14. Not quite the winning record they had hoped for, but again, their first trip to the postseason in 6 years. They're certainly proud about that in Astoria. The 2-2 pitch on the way from Glidden is taken for strike 3. And upstairs fastball sends Winterstein looking, and it brings up Isaac Crawford. Hornets racking up the strikeouts today. I believe that is 9 total strikeouts. And we're not even through the order 3 times yet for the Fishermen. Hornets pitching staff continuing to deal here in the postseason, picking up right where they left off after a dominant regular season in the Skyline Conference. The first pitch is called a ball. Isaac Crawford looking to lay down a bunt with nobody on, maybe trying to beat out an infield play, but you get about 1 crack at that as now Meyer and Cox play in on the corners. The 1-1 pitch nearly hit him. That makes it 2-0, not 1-1. Apologies there. The count is 2-0 with 1 out, top of the 5th inning, 5-1 the score. Henley leading in this opening round matchup. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Called a strike just below the belt on the inside corner. Count is 2-1 to Isaac Crawford. Crawford, a junior for the Fishermen this season. Glidden is set with the 2-1. And now the pitch is fouled straight back. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like we said, a couple of games underway at 4 o'clock today in the 4A conference. Scappoose and North Bend just getting started about 15 minutes ago, along with LeGrand and Staten. A couple of games still set to start at 4:30, including Malala and Pendleton. Pitch in is a chopper back to the mound. Glidden comes off the hill, makes the play, throw on to first in time. 2 outs in the 5th inning. Back to the top of the Fisherman order. Here's Sam Shocker. Shocker, a junior this year for the Fishermen. The Shocker name is familiar to me. The Fishermen have come to Henley a few times in the last couple of years in other sports. They played a couple of basketball playoff games here a couple seasons ago, back-to-back. And I think that would line up with Shocker's freshman year. So maybe an older sibling as he takes strike 1 there. Shocker today 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 3rd. He also struck out in the 1st. Here the count is even, a ball and a strike. Sam Mather is on deck for the Fishermen if Shocker is able to get on base here. Shocker is second on the team in hitting for the Fishermen. Here's a ground ball chance for Shively at short. Throw on to first to Ian Meyer is in time, and 3 up, 3 down in the 5th inning. We go to the bottom half next in a 5-1 ball game. The Hornets lead the Fishermen on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Nearly set now for the bottom half of the fifth inning on 104.3, 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Our special coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a baseball state tournament is brought to you today by the Henley Booster Club. You can visit them here at Henley High School. Oftentimes have a table set up at a lot of home games. You can buy merchandise and support the Booster Club that way. I only touched on it for a moment, but one of the very cool things that they've been able to accomplish here in, boosting Henley athletics was the scoreboard over at the softball and soccer complexes. You might remember they used to have to share a scoreboard. They kind of flipped it around because the softball and the soccer fields are next to each other, so they would flip the scoreboard around and use it for both. But now, because of the Booster Club and fundraising done by each of those two individual programs, they've been able to get scoreboards at each individual field, and boy, the softball one looks real nice. So shout out to the Henley Booster Club for all the work they do for Henley athletics. Ian Meyer leading off this one for the Hornets. He's ahead in the count 1-0. He swings over the top of a pitch. The count is even now at a ball and a strike to Meyer. It's Meyer, Derek Cox, then Corbin Hamilton do up this half inning for Henley. That's 4, 5, and 6 in their order, as they lead by 4 runs in the bottom of the fifth inning. Pitch to Meyer is called a letter high fastball for a strike, 1-2. Meyer singled in the first, grounded out in the third. Trying to get on base to start a rally, bottom half of the fifth inning. No lead is comfortable here in the postseason. The Hornets looking for some insurance, and Meyer rips one to the first baseman, gloved by Kelly, opposite the hot corner. One gone in the fifth inning. Brings up Derek Cox. Cox 1 for 2 in the ball game today. He flew out in the first, but in the third inning, a 2-run homer to right field helped Henley to their 5-1 lead. Pitch to Cox is going to miss upstairs. The count is 0-1. Norris is trying to start the Hornets out with that upstairs off-speed pitch. Haven't been biting on it very much, though, and that time Norris falls behind. Pitch to Cox is going to miss wide. The count is 2-0. On the season, Cox a .391 hitter. The 2-0. Here it comes. Norris sets and delivers. Cox hits one into the air, center field. Leaking into the right field as well. Someone's going to have to call it off. They both call each other off, and nobody makes the play. Cox is going to wind up at second on the error. And just a matter of who they attribute that to. Probably the right fielder. I thought Johnson had an easier play on that one than the center fielder, who had to run a long way. Regardless, Cox is into scoring position. And it brings up Corbin Hamilton. Oh, they called it a hit. All right. So give Derek Cox a double on that last hit. And he is into scoring position now. The count is 0-1 to Corbin Hamilton, who is 1 for 2 today. Singled in the second, flew out in the third. Here's the pitch. That's called a strike. The count is 0-2 to Hamilton. Want to get it out there for Derek now that that's in the books as a double. That is his 9th double of the season, 3rd most on the team in that category. Here is the 0-2 to Hamilton. And it is swung over the top of and missed. 2 gone in the 5th inning as Hamilton goes down on strikes. It brings up Alex Smith. Smith 0 for 1 in the ball game today. He flew out to center field in the 2nd inning. He also walked and scored in the 4th. Norris working for the Fishermen. He comes set and delivers. Drops in a breaking pitch against Smith. Gets it over for strike 1. Like I said, Norris had been trying to get that strike call upstairs. That time it was in around the knees against Smith. You're going to get a lot more of those called as a strike rather than the ones up around the letters. Here is the 0-1 from Norris. That pitch is going to skip in the dirt. A nice job by Shocker to keep that one in front of him, pick it out of the dirt, disallowing Derek Cox to advance to third. And the count is even And a ball and a strike to the Henley right fielder. Norris toes the rubber, takes a look at the lead. Cox is taken off a second. Mather holding him there. And the 1-1 pitch home is hit into the air, right field. Coming in is Johnson, has to run a long way, but he makes the catch. And that will end the inning. The Hornets get a double from Derek Cox, but they leave him stranded. They do lead 5-1 as we go to the 6th at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Tournament on mybasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Take a check of the line score for each of these teams as we continue your coverage here in the top of the 6th inning for Astoria. 1 run on 2 hits. They've committed 2 errors, and they have left 3 runners on base today. For Henley, 5 runs on 9 hits. They've committed 1 error, and the Hornets have left 5 runners on base in the contest. As we get set for the top of the 6th inning, Sam Mather, Joey Gramlich, and Colt Kelly do up this half inning as that one misses outside 2-0. Pardon me, Gramlich, the CH sound there. As Mather steps in, he's 0 for 2 today. He grounded out in the first, and he actually hit a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning. So just 0 for 1 today for Mather as he lines one into right field, and that will settle down in front of Smith. Then a leadoff single for the Fishermen to start the 6th inning. And the throw in is going to be a wild one. That's going to allow Mather to reach second. It's been an error-filled day for the Hornets this afternoon. And by my count, that is the 2nd error. They've already got 2 errors up on the board. We'll see exactly how that winds up going. But Mather reaching there, and it brings up Joey Gramlich. Gramlich 0 for 2 today. He reached on errors each time. Pitch misses upstairs, 1-0. Gramlich has made some stellar plays on the defensive end for the Fishermen. Had a hard hit ball hit to him a couple of innings ago, and he had to jump to bring that one in, saving surely extra bases and probably a couple of runs as well. Right now his Fishermen down by 4, and they're relying on their team leader in hitting to try to come up in a big spot. Already 1 RBI today. It happened when he reached on the error back in the 3rd inning. But he bats .333 this season for the Fishermen. The 2-0 swung on and missed. Count is 2-1 to Gramlich. Colt Kelly is on deck for the men in purple. Always a big fan of the purple look for whichever school has got it, I gotta say. The 2-1 home. Line drive, right field, and a base hit. Mather is getting held up at 3rd, and so a single puts runners at the corners with nobody out, and it brings up Colt Kelly. Kelly is 0 for 2 in the ball game today. And looks like we've got maybe a courtesy runner or a pinch runner coming in for the Fishermen. Let's see. Number 5 should be Gentry Broughton, a sophomore, coming in to run at first base for Gramlich. So Broughton aboard at first. Okay. Colt Kelly digging in now, like I said, for his part 0 for 2 today. Grounded out in the first, struck out in the 3rd First pitch to him here called a strike. Knee high on the outer third. Count is 0-1. Glidden into a little bit of trouble for the first time since coming out of the bullpen. That single from Mather to lead off the inning was the first base runner the Fishermen have had since the third inning. Here's the pitch. That one came in and hit the batter. And that will load the bases for Archer Hawkins as Broughton advances to second. Kelly aboard at first. And the tying run now at the plate in the person of Archer Hawkins. Coach Connor up and out of the dugout to have a discussion with Hunter Glidden. And as he does, we'd like to remind you today's broadcast on mybasin.com is brought to you in part by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. Also, stick around for our post-game show. The Hornets are able to hold on to a win. We'll be talking to our Abby's Legendary Pizza player of the game. Still got to decide who that might be. And, of course, the Hornets have to hang on for a win for us to get there, but always love being able to give away a personal pan pizza for Abby's Legendary Pizza's player of the game. We're going to have a new pitcher in for Henley. Ty Teeters getting some warm-up tosses in as he comes in relief of Hunter Glidden. We'll let him warm up out there and step aside for 60 seconds in a 5-1 ball game on mybasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
New pitcher into the game for the Henley Hornets is Ty Teeters, making his 12th appearance of the season. Ty has pitched 20 2/3 previous innings this year. He's without a win or a loss, although he does have one save. He has allowed 19 hits, 9 runs. They're all earned. He's walked 7 and struck out 23 batters, an ERA for Teeters of 3.05 entering play today. He inherits a less than desirable situation. Tying run at the plate, bases loaded. Archer Hawkins at the dish for the Fishermen. Teeters, the pitch. Line drive, right field, base hit, probably extra bases. Mather scores. They're waving in Broughton. He will score. And they are also going to wave in Norgard. There will be no throw. And it's a bases-clearing triple for Archer Hawkins. And it makes it 5-4. The Henley lead has shrunk after that triple for Hawkins. For Archer Hawkins on the season, racking up 3 RBI there. That is his first triple of the year. And with 3 RBIs, puts him up to 9 on the season. And a chance to tie the game. Nobody out for Jack Johnson. Tying run at third. They look to show bunt, and they got a runner caught in the rundown at third. The tag is applied. They got the runner at third. Overextended was Archer Hawkins on the bunt, and 1 out in the inning. And that changes things a bit here with now the bases empty. Big play for Tacchini to get behind home plate. And just as I was saying earlier in the broadcast about Henley's ability to run the bases there and stay alive on the bases, that's a prime example of overextending and costing what could be the tying run with nobody out at third. It's just a backbreaker for the Fishermen. The 0-2 is looked at upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Johnson. Now, if there's any silver lining for the Fishermen, it is only the first out. Suppose you could try to get a rally started here. Johnson at the plate, although he is 0 for 2 on the day, trying to get his first base knock here. It's the 1-2, looked at for strike 3. Big pitch there for Ty Teeters. 2 gone in the inning. It brings up Dallas Norris. Trying to get a rally started. Norris 0 for 2 today, though. He struck out a pair of times. The delivery from Teeters. Curveball, big looping breaking ball. Drops it in for strike 1. If Norris is able to get on here, it's Braden Winterstein due up next. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball, grounder, back to Teeters on the mound. Underhand toss to Meyer at first, and that'll do it in the 6th. A 3-run triple from Archer Hawkins brings the Fishermen within 1. It's 5-4 as we go to the bottom of the 6th next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
The bottom of the 6th inning, and the Hornets looking for some insurance as they get set to have 8-9-1 due up. Max Price, Ryan Douglas, Connor Shively. A 3-run top of the 6th inning has brought Astoria within a run. It's a 5-4 ball game in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a baseball state tournament. Fishermen have certainly got a lot of momentum in their dugout as Max Price tries to bring it back onto the home side here. Max today 0 for 1. He struck out in the 2nd. He laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 4th. And now tasked with, again, getting the rally started for the Hornets, bottom half of the 6th inning. Dallas Norris still out there working for the Fishermen. We'll check the line score for him in just a moment as the pitch from Norris is swung on and missed. Count is 0-1. He's gotten into some trouble today, but has worked himself out of as many jams. Obviously, still in the game, 5 innings pitched, 10 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and I think that's the number that has kept him in this game. The 0-1 is going to miss outside, 1-1. The Hornets have strung together some base hits, like in the 3rd inning when they scored 3 runs, although 2 of them were on a 2-run homer from Derek Cox. Point being, you're not giving away free base runners for the Hornets, so when they do get base hits, walked guys aren't scoring, which was the case quite a bit during the Skyline Conference season. Here in the playoffs, the pitching obviously a lot better than it is during the typical regular season. And so Norris, like I said, doing a good job limiting free passes today. This will be pitch number 82 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the offering to Max Price. It is looked at for strike 3. Price caught on the pitch that missed the outside part of the plate, but rung him up anyway. Second time today, Price has gone down on strikes, and it brings up Ryan Douglas. Douglas 1 for 2 today. He flew out in the 2nd inning. He also had an RBI single in the 4th. Pitch to Douglas. Elevated fastball swung underneath it. The count is 0-1 to Ryan. Douglas on the season, batting .238 for the Hornets here in the 9 spot. Here's the 0-1. Misses outside. Count is even to Douglas. Plans to attend Oregon State University. Wants to further his career as a veterinarian. Has taken an interest to it. And that's what he wants to go to school for. Very cool for Ryan Douglas. And accepted to a prestigious university in Oregon State. 1-1. Called a strike. 1-2. By the way, Oregon State baseball team, they found out their regional. We'll be able to have all those games right here on this radio station, 104.3 and 960 Sports. They start Friday at noon. Here's the 1-2 pitch back to Douglas. Waves and misses at strike 3. 2 gone in the 6th. Back to the top of the Henley order. Here's Connor Shively. Speaking of continuing their playing career, Connor Shively made his commitment a couple of weeks ago in a ceremony along with 18 other student athletes from Henley High School committing to play at the next level. Connor Shively will be playing at Chemeketa Community College. Here's the first pitch from Dallas Norris. That's going to miss outside. Count is 1-0 to Shively in his senior season, batting .390 this year for the Hornets. 22 of his 32 hits have been singles. He's also got 5 doubles and 5 triples, does Shively. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Norris. Shively, a chopper back up the middle. That'll be through into center field, a 2-out knock for Shively. He's now 3 for 4 on the day, and it brings up Carson Sims. Sims 1 for 3 on the afternoon. He scored a couple of runs, once when he reached on an error in the first. He also singled and scored in the third, but flew out to the second baseman in the fourth inning. Trying to continue this 2-out rally as they move over to first. Shively back safely. A 1-run lead for the Hornets. If you're curious for the Fishermen, who's due up in the top of the 7th inning, it is 8, 9, and 1 in their order. Here's the pitch to Sims. He checks his swing on an upstairs pitch that stays up. 1-0 the count to Sims. Jacoby Tacchini is on deck should the inning continue for the Hornets. Norris working hard out there on the hill, trying to keep it a 1-run ball game. Move over to first. Shively back safely. Again, all things considered for Norris against the number 1 team in the state, he has pitched very well today. And he's kept his team within reach. A 1-run lead for the Hornets. The 1-0 pitch. Sims hits one into the air, right side foul. And it's a 1-1 count to Carson. Sims ready to dig into that right-handed batter's box. Keeps his feet set wide. Now the 1-1 is lifted right side. Coming in is Johnson. Going to be tough. The second baseman, Mather, makes the call and makes the catch for the third out. The Hornets get a base runner in the inning, but they leave Shively stranded. They're going to try to close out a 1-run victory in the top half of the 7th in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
You know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Josh Eldridge welcoming you back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Playoffs on 104.3, 960 Sports. MyBasin.com, our coverage to you brought to you by the Henley Booster Club today. When it comes time for the playoffs, the Henley Booster Club ensures that these broadcasts stay free for you, not like some of the pay-per-view models on the likes of the NFHS Network or anything like that. We're able to broadcast this game for you free today, thanks in large part to the Henley Booster Club. Got a pinch hitter in the game for Astoria. Mattis Elston, the sophomore, is ready to hit now against Ty Teeters as the Fishermen down to their final 3 outs of the season. They trail by 1 in this opening round playoff matchup. As Elston fouls back the first pitch he sees, and the count is 0-1. Bats here from the right side. Elston, a sophomore for the Fishermen. The pitch from Teeters, a curveball called a strike. The count is 0-2. Elston on the season is only making his 5th at-bat here. He's 0 for his first 4 on the season. Here is the pitch from Teeters. Another bending curveball misses upstairs. The count is 1-2. By the way, we got a score update from the softball game going on behind us. It is tied up at 6 between Henley and Pendleton in the 7 versus 9 matchup in the softball state championships. Count still a ball and 2 strikes here to Elston. And by the way, they're in the middle of the 4th inning over there at the softball complex. Teeters comes set. The delivery to Elston is a grounder out towards Shively. Connor up with it. The throw on to first. Short hops Meyer, but he digs it out of the dirt for the out. And there's one gone in the 7th inning. And it brings up Isaac Crawford. Crawford 0 for 2 in the ball game so far today. He struck out in the 3rd, grounded out in the 5th. Ty Teeters working out there for Henley, trying to come up with a big win here for the Hornets. A bouncer out to Sims. Carson up with it. Throw on to first is in time. 2 gone in the inning. And the Fishermen down to their final out. Teeters would be in line for a save if he's able to get this last out here in the person of Sam Shaker. Sam Shocker, a junior, 0 for 3 today. Shocker did reach on an error in the 3rd. Otherwise, he's grounded out and struck out so far today. Teeters trying to get him and move the Hornets on to the quarterfinals as he takes strike 1 there. Oh, 1 pitch. Teeters delivers, finds the 2-seamer on the outside corner. And the Fishermen now down to their final strike of the season as the Hornets try to punch their ticket to the next round of the state tournament. Teeters is set. Takini sets the sign. The pitch is going to miss low. Count is a ball and 2 strikes to Sam Shocker. If he's able to get on base, Sam Mather is on deck. Set on the hill is Teeters, trying to find that put-away pitch. The 1-2 hit into the air, foul behind home plate, and we'll do it again. A ball and 2 strikes. Teeters looking in once more, trying to find the put-away pitch. The 1-2, fastball, outside corner, froze him. And the Hornets are moving on in the state tournament with a 5-4 win over the Astoria Fishermen. We'll be back in 2 minutes to recap this one for you next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Final score for you today, the Henley Hornets with a victory over the Astoria Fishermen. A score of 5-4 for the Hornets today. 5 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. For Astoria, 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors. We're going to catch up now with Connor Shively, our Abby's legendary pizza player of the game. Go ahead and take that. Initial reactions after a playoff win today, Connor?
A lot closer than we thought it was going to be, but came through in the end, got it done.
Playing a close game in the opening round. Do you think that bodes well for you guys down the line to play a competitive one like this early?
Yeah, I think it'll really help us in our confidence going forward.
Kind of pitched by committee today. You had Corbin out there, had Hunter out there, had Ty out there. How much confidence does it give you guys that you can work behind such great pitching all day long?
It's a big step in our game. I mean, we can go out there and trust any pitcher that we throw out there to get the job done.
3 hits for you today, 3 for 4 outing. You scored a run. Does your approach to the game change come playoff time, or are you just rolling it out there and swinging at the ball?
No, for me, I just think it's another game. Just got to get the job done.
I heard recently you made your commitment to Chemeketa Community College. Congratulations. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the fans out there about that?
No, not really, but thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, man. We'll see you on Friday. Go get a second win.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks,
you,
Connor. Abby's legendary pizza player of the game today on 104.3 and 960 Sports. 5-4, the final this afternoon. The Hornets are advancing to the quarterfinals where they will play at home on Friday. Opponent TBD. It'll be Pendleton or it'll be Malala. Those teams are starting, I believe that is a 5 o'clock first pitch. No, they started at 4:30. So if you have a subscription to the NFHS network, might be able to find it there. Check it out on Game Changer, whatever you can. But whoever wins that game between Malala and Pendleton will meet Henley here on Friday for the quarterfinals. The Hornets are joining the Tillamook Cheesemakers as teams to punch their ticket to the round of 8 so far in the 4A Baseball State Championships. A 5-4 win today. Corbin Hamilton gets the win on the hill. 3 2/3 innings pitched, a couple of hits allowed, 7 strikeouts for him. Ty Teeters gets the save today. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed. He struck out 2 batters. Offensive notables today for the Hornets include Connor Shively, a 3 for 4 day for him. Connor also scored a run, 1 for 4 day for Carson Sims today. He scored 2 runs in the win. Jacoby Takini was 2 for 3, couple of RBI and a double. Derek Cox 2 for 3, couple of RBI and a double as well. Corbin Hamilton and Ryan Douglas each coming up with base hits in this 5-4 win. It improves Henley on the season to 24-3. The Astoria Fishermen finished their season with a record of 11-15. We'll see you back on Friday for more Henley baseball as the Hornets get ready for a quarterfinal matchup here at Rosser Field. But until then, thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Henley High School Baseball. My name is Josh Eldridge. Have a great rest of your Tuesday afternoon. So long and good night from Henley High School.